Welcome back, it's Matt Rogers, Skywatcher UK. And here in the Northern Hemisphere in the UK, we are also seeing some very strange skies because of the pole shift. And it's all because of that Earth's magnetic field and the solar activity from the coronal holes from our sun is burning so much now. All these flares attacking our atmosphere. And those chem planes as well, up even higher, thousands of feet high. So we can't see them all the time. And again, this Lucifer telescope being built by those government officials for the Vatican to keep an eye on the skies. They know it's coming. They track it every single day. There's also been more reports of asteroids. And again, earthquakes. Everything is becoming erratic all the time. But also the media here in the UK don't say much at all. They just make it out as if it's a normal, healthy day and everything's okay and we just go ahead with our business all the time. The Earth's magnetic field is weakening all the time. We're having some huge differences of our planet at the moment, and more huge solar flares. Again, what I said before about these solar flares heading into the keyhole of our atmosphere and down to the ground, and it's causing a lot of problems with our Earth's core right now, causing these earthquakes. And there are so many earthquakes that happen every day now. It's 24 hours past and we've had 103 earthquakes. Again, you can see the Van Allen radiation belt and also the Earth's atmosphere, and this diagram with the solar wind as well, and the plasma sheet. There's also some strange space weather going on. I mean, it's all happening. It's really bad up there now, the space weather. It's very erratic and things are just not as calm as they were before with these huge solar winds. Our Earth is being battered every single day now. Here as well is surviving the pole shift, and there's many books out there that you'll see on the chart, that there's been some great people out there like Mr. John Moore, and also many other people that have wrote books about surviving the pole shift and when this shift occurs as well, to be able to hopefully survive on high land and get away from them sea coastal areas, because a lot of the military have moved away now and they're on high land as well. It's all about survival, because when them tsunami waves head towards our land all over the coastlines, those military and also the government officials and powers to be will all be down underground in their built up bunkers, their underground cities. It's just all been documented all the time, and they do know this. And again, Mr. Trump and Mr. Putin should announce this to the world now. Those powers to be are keeping it slammed shut. They don't want to say a single word. They really don't. And looking on those Mexico cams as well, you can see some crazy differences in our skies. And I believe that they do white screen those. Also here as well, going back, and I'm going to speak about the pole shift, because we are shifting very slowly. We've been shifting for many years now, and it's getting to a point that we're all sliding south, and the polar ice caps are melting and everything is going off right now. But we are just the last ones to know, humanity, the public, because they don't want the mass to for them to lose control. They just want us to be controlled right to the very end. Because when we do get the pole shift, because just think of this, of a spinning top toy, and when it stops it will shift and tilt. And also with those rising ocean levels, we're going to get some huge differences in our oceans. And again, over here in the UK, I've noticed that the sea levels are rising. They are rising much higher in the areas where the water is than they have before. There is some serious problems going on up there on our oceans. There is problems with our waters. I mean, eventually we will get those huge waves that come in. Because when those coronal holes are battering our atmosphere, the core of the Earth will cause those shifted earthquakes. And here as well, you can see on the these charts as well through the years, the different years is with these huge CME blasts that are affecting our atmosphere, these cold and hot spots. All the time we're seeing this, aren't we? Differences every single time. It's just getting worse. We're just around the corner from a huge difference and a huge event coming our way, where we've got that binary star and that other celestial body, Nibiru, that's causing all this, causing our sun to become very erratic, because before it wasn't doing this. It's a lot calmer, but when things start getting agitated, things do get worse. And I just urge everybody to prepare for this whole situation, because you can see here on this this chart as well, the Earth's magnetic field is just erratic all the time, and we will get a huge difference when we get this huge shift. And please don't believe the media, because the media will always come out with a climate change hoax, and they will always try and blame us, pass the buck to everybody else, until the very end, until the whole situation happens. Because government are right under our noses right now, are building those underground cities, waiting for this to happen. This is gonna happen, because they spray our skies to cover them differences that we see up there, those strange clouds now, those lowered clouds, thunderstorms that last 2 minutes and then go away, hailstones that just turn up for a few moments and disappear. And then we get the heat and the burning of the sun as well with those coronal holes. And again, Mr. John White, another author of a book called The Pole Shift. If you was able to go to your libraries and be able to collect that book, it's a very interesting read. I've read it, and it's very, very interesting. To given a lot of information out there of how to survive the pole shift and what to do. Just very interesting, because again, they don't want the information to get out there. The millions of people, the masses of the world, humanity need to wake up to this now, because we are so busy in our situations, in our lives, with our electric goods and mobile phones, laptops and technology. We need to be able to prepare, because all that will be a waste of time. It won't work anymore, not for at least 30-40 years. And the weather patterns as well, as I said, it's all changing. We are seeing differences in the skies. You can see that yellow dimness in the skies as well, the changing of colours, the reflections, all the time. Every single day we're seeing this now, aren't we? And again, we just got to keep safe and prepare, because this is out to the Nibiru community. There's another book that's out there in the libraries called The Dark Star, The Planet X Evidence. Very interesting, by Mr. James Gooden, and it's just a very excellent read as well, because we can see all sorts of colours in the skies, and even it's evident, and it's been read out, and people witnessing this in Mexico as well, and also Australia. They're seeing all these different colours, the blues, the oranges, the reds, all the time. Every day I look up on the horizons in the morning skies, and then I look down in the night skies, and I could see some very strange colours in the skies all the time, because the powers to be, they just want people to think it's just a normal rising meadow skies. And I just want to urge everybody to prep and prepare for the biggest event that's coming, because it is coming. It's a situation. And Mr. Lloyd Pye, a kind, respectable man in the past, lost his life for giving out all the truth and the hard evidence he had documented through the years. Everything he said was true to his word. And I've got his books, and I've read many of his stories and his information and his videos, are absolutely 100% true. He was a very kind gentleman that had lots of presentations, and he just wanted everybody, the humanity of the world, to acknowledge the truth of what's going on. And also, I mean, there's other people, and here is one of Mr. Lloyd Pye's information: the human origins, Nibiru and Anunnaki and Sumerians. It's all true. The Sumerians knew, and they saw the past of this incoming situation. They saw what was going on up there in the skies, and they tried to prepare, but also the tablets, there were many that were stolen and disappeared because they didn't want this information to come out to the public. But there's other people that was able to retrieve tablets as well. We could see on them, and they were documented, and the truth is coming out. And I respect every channel that the truth is coming out. What they're doing is fantastic, because those Sumerians, they were clever people. A lot of our information, a lot of our learning in the past of schooling and things are all from the Sumerians. But when that pole shift occurred, they were destroyed. But they were very, very clever people, and we got all our information from them in the past. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are now. Because it's a situation where it's very important to remember our past. Let's not forget the past. That really isn't a situation, because again, we will get a blackout. The power grids will go down when this huge event comes. When Nemesis, the binary twin, heads closer towards us, these huge coronal solar flares as well, everything will get worse, and we will get a huge blackout, and also we'll have problems with our power grids, as I said, and we need to survive. We need to start like from the Dark Ages to learn how to cope without the electricity and also the help from the government. And here is another truther, this Phil Snyder, very clever man in the past that had worked underground in those cities and seen some terrible things that were going on down there, and saw the truth of what was going on. He lost his life. He lost his fingers through a situation with a being from some other place that was down there in the underground of Dulce Base. And he wanted the public to know the truth. He wanted to know, for us to know the real reasons of what are going on down there, to prepare, and sadly lost his life. Another person, another kind family member, a man. And also here you have underground bases and tunnels that run for thousands of miles. Thousands of miles. There's trains, transport down there that are running at Mach 1 through different cities underground for miles. And I just want to get these words out there to people, because I believe it's very important that we get the truth out there. Because the government don't want you to know anything whatsoever. Here in the UK, there's just other government officials that are not wanting to say the truth. These Dulce wars are happening all the time. The underground bases are a true, real situation, and we've just got to get the word out there. So I respect you all, and again, it's great that many other people are subscribing to the channel, and I will send my email out to you so we can send messages and get the word out there for everybody to understand what's going on. Here again is this transport run by DUMS, the underground bases, where again, as I said, they run at Mach 1 at very fast speeds. All our taxpayers' money are being given out to the government that are just spending it all the time on these situations just to keep saving themselves all the time. They don't want us to survive this. They really don't. They want to depopulate the world for themselves and hopefully crawl out the bunkers to start again, to reorganize their banking systems again. So I urge every single one of you to please prep and prepare for the biggest event of our lives, and take care. I'll do another video from Matt Rogers.